She was never the loudest in the room. She didn't need to be. She wasn't chasing the spotlight, but somehow it always found her. While others made noise, she made impact, a quiet kind of power, the kind that doesn't shout for attention, it pulls you in. She didn't demand the moment, she became the moment. And in a world full of voices competing to be heard, she proved that silence could speak louder than words. She was part of the original supermodel era, not just a pretty face, an icon, etched into the lens of fashion history. Her beauty graced the most unforgettable images of the 20th century. She walked beside Naomi, posed with Cindy, shined with Christy, ruled with Linda. But while their names echoed through time,
the way I started modeling was through the look of the year. And it kind of happened by accident because friends sent in pictures to the look of the year in Holland, and
Tanya quietly disappeared. No scandal, no farewell, just silence. What really happened to the supermodel who vanished when the world was still watching? So, what happened to Tanya Potitz? Why did the world's most mysterious supermodel quietly walk away without a sound? And more importantly, why did no one seem to notice? A lot of sacrifices of your personal life. It's really difficult to have a great, beautiful relationship when you're always on the road, always traveling, and you run into all sorts of conflicts, jealousies. This isn't just a story about fashion. It's about fame, loneliness, and the price of beauty. She could have had it all, the covers, the campaigns, the crown. But instead, she chose something else. She chose peace. She chose freedom. She chose herself. And in doing so, she walked away from the spotlight. Perhaps forever. Tanya Potitz wasn't like the others. She didn't walk into a room demanding attention, and yet somehow she always got it. Her presence was quiet, the kind that made photographers pause, editors lean in, designers reimagined entire campaigns. But Tata never wanted to be famous, and maybe that's what made her unforgettable. While the fashion world chased bold names and louder personalities, Tatana stood apart, quieter, deeper, almost unknowable. Tatiana Potitz wasn't built for the spotlight. She was built for the quiet, for the forests, for freedom. Before the catwalks and campaigns, she was just a curious kid, born in Germany, raised in rural Sweden, sun-drenched, barefoot, always outside. I loved horses. I pretended my bicycle was a horse. I put a pillow on it, shoelaces for reins. I'd go into the forest, over rocks, and I don't know, I had a very imaginative childhood. She wasn't the it girl in school. She was tall, shy, drawn more to animals than parties, more to solitude than attention. She once said she wasn't popular with boys. She didn't see herself as beautiful, just awkward, unsure, and a little bit wild. Then at 17, everything changed. A local photographer submitted her to the Elite Look of the Year contest. She placed third. It was enough. Paris called. How were those first years in Paris? They were really difficult. A lot of running around, small apartments with so many girls, no money, no glamour. It was hard. There were no limousines, no red carpets, just crowded rooms, too many girls, too little sleep, and a dream she wasn't sure she even believed in yet. Tatiana didn't explode onto the scene like Naomi or Cindy. She simmered. Her look was hard to define, soft yet strong, mysterious but unforced. And for some in the industry, that was confusing. Some people say your look is threatening. Yeah, I know. I don't know why. When I'm serious and I look at someone, they get scared. I don't know why. They called her untamed, but maybe that was the point. She wasn't trying to be famous. She was just trying to survive in a world that often valued image over soul. And somehow, without ever chasing it, she became a muse. By the late 80s, the industry was shifting. Tatiana Patitz didn't chase fame, but in 1990, it found her anyway. One music video changed everything. Freedom by George Michael. And suddenly, Tatiana became a global icon. Not just a model, a cultural force. Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Avedon, Lindbergh, Weber. Her face was everywhere. And yet she remained apart. There were times I said, that's it, I can't stand it anymore. No private life, always traveling, trying to hold relationships together. She wasn't being dramatic, she was being real. Even at the height of her fame, Tatiana wasn't chasing covers, she was trying to hold on to herself. Years later, she looked back. I look at old journals, and I barely talk about work. I talk about boyfriends, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm reading it thinking, you were on a shoot in Paris. Why are you writing about that guy? Tatiana was always tuned into something deeper. She needed nature. She needed stillness. Nature is my salvation. I live by the beach now. I had to get away. Malibu became her sanctuary. Crystals, horses, her son, the ocean. She didn't just leave the spotlight. She stepped into something more real. Peter Lindbergh said she had a face like Garbo. Grace Coddington called her irreplaceable. The Marshalier said she looked different in every light. Tatiana didn't have one look. She had many. She wasn't of the fashion world. She merely passed through it. By the late 1990s, the industry moved on. Faster, louder, obsessed with youth and celebrity. Tatiana didn't chase it. She let it go.